Have you ever heard the saying, die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain? That's Stephen A. Whether you love him or hate him, Stephen A. Smith is one of the greatest TV personalities of all time. I've been watching Stephen A. Smith for a long time. Like, I've been watching Stephen A. since way back in the day when he had his own show called Quite Frankly. I remember when his show got canceled and when he got fired. And then fast forward, Skip Bayless brings him on the First Take. I think he was on First Take like every Tuesday or every Wednesday way back in the day. And then he got promoted. He became a full-time co-host. And now today, he pretty much runs ESPN. Stephen A is such a massive personality. He's provided us on the internet with a ton of classic memes over the years, and for what he's asked to do, he's great at his job. He's one of the greatest ever. Stephen A has been putting in work for years at this point, and he fully deserves all of the success that has happened to him in his career. I'm talking about popularity-wise, I'm talking financially, but I feel like it's been a shift in him over the last few years. The only thing bigger than Stephen A's personality is his ego. And it's kind of hard to tell somebody who's clearly the man that they're not the man. But the way that Stephen A has been moving over the last few years kind of makes me not as big of a fan as I used to be. Stephen A at this point in his career is completely delusional. Like, he's fully embraced this character that we've come to know over his career at ESPN, and him being the face of the biggest sports network in the entire world has made Stephen A feel like he's untouchable. It's made him feel like he's never wrong. It's made him feel like he's better than you, he's smarter than you, he's more popular than you. When for me, over the last few years, all this has proven to me is no matter how much money or fame you give a lame, he's still a lame. Stephen A is a prime example of main character syndrome, where somebody feels like everything is about them. I mean, we're talking about the same guy who goes to NBA games and walks courtside like the entire crowd is there to see him. But we've seen multiple points throughout his career where it's hard not to cringe, and he doesn't even realize how ridiculous he looks. I don't even remember what Kevin Durant and Stephen A was beefing over, but I just remember Kevin Durant basically saying, nobody in my camp and none of my family ever talks to Stephen A. And Stephen A got on TV the next day. He looked directly in the camera and said, "You don't want to make an enemy out of me." Like, what the f are you gonna do? And more recently, the Stephen A and LeBron beef is another example of Stephen A being delusional. Stephen A made a comment about Bronny, and then LeBron took offense to it as a father. And let me be clear, I don't have an issue with LeBron being upset. I think LeBron is correct in how he feels, but the way he went about that situation to me was corny. You know Stephen A. Smith not going to do anything. And LeBron is calculated with everything. He knew that was going to be a moment, and he knew what he was doing. He knew what that was going to look like. It was corny. But Stephen A. being the lame, he got embarrassed by LeBron in front of everyone, and then he decided to get personal, saying that he knows why he wasn't at Kobe's funeral. And then he was like, I know why you wasn't at Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame ceremony. I don't care. Like, I hate when First Take talks about the Lakers because it's clear Stephen A. tries to take a shot at LeBron every chance he gets, and it just shows how sensitive he is. Like, Stephen A's job is to literally talk about other people 24/7, and then as soon as somebody responds, as soon as someone says something to him, he goes on a 10 to 15 minute rant. He's talking about his career and he's highlighting his resume. I'm a black man, I went to an HBCU. We literally just saw this last week when Stephen A was getting cooked by the Pelicans social media team, and this man went on TV and talked for over 11 minutes. And then he'll turn around and try to pretend like he's not bothered when he's clearly bothered. And speaking of bothered, shout out to Max Kellerman. I was a big fan when Max joined First Take. I thought he was debating circles around Stephen A. Stephen A is a character. Stephen A goes viral. Stephen A is loud. But whenever he debates somebody that uses sound logic, shout out to Mina Combs, you usually see how wrong he is. If you watch First Take often, you'll see that Stephen A is wrong and inaccurate on a lot of things. Like, Stephen A, he's a busy guy. He can't watch everything. He's over here, he's over here. They had this man on UFC a few years ago for some reason. Joe Rogan looked like he hated this man. But I'm a New York Jets fan, and I remember this was probably last year. They were talking about some segment with the New York Jets. Stephen A kept bringing up a Jets player that we cut like 2-3 years ago, and he was talking about him like he was on the team currently. But the entire Max Kellerman situation was extremely corny to me. Like, if it wasn't working out business-wise, cool, whatever. My problem comes with, you basically get Max fired. You go on press tours and talk about this man for years. Max responds one time, and then you go on YouTube, you make a 30-minute video talking about, You sure you want to go there? It's always hilarious to go back and watch the clip because you can tell just how upset and hurt Stephen A was when Terrell Owens went on First Take and said, Max is blacker than you. Even Max's face was like, oh my God. Stephen A do be cooning sometimes, but he's not as bad as a Jason Whitlock or RG3. But we all know what T.O. meant when he said that statement. But seriously, go back and look at some of the debates that they had during that Max Kellerman era of First Take, and it's just incredible to me. And even still to this day, it's incredible to me how Stephen A. Smith is wrong almost every single time when it comes to a serious topic, especially when it comes to black people. Like if you go back and you look at the Colin Kaepernick debates, Max had this man looking crazy. But it's clear sometimes that Stephen A truly doesn't feel like anything will happen to him. He can do no wrong. Like it's been rumors for years at this point that he and Molly were messing around. Now, me personally, I don't really believe that. I just feel like that's childish internet rumors. But it's been multiple times where Stephen A has made comments about Molly, whether it's how she looks or some of her mannerisms, that it's like, bro, we are at work. You cannot say that. Like Stephen A is definitely not in the office looking at those mandatory sexual harassment videos. This man be talking about the way she dressed, the way she drinks her drinks, and it's like, bro, you can't say that. But the ultimate thing about Stephen A that shows just how delusional this man has truly become, this man's ego is so big. He seriously thinks that he could be the next president of the United States. Like at first I thought he was just joking, but this man is actually doing political conversations on like Fox News or CNN, one of those. He's doing like political commentary on his own YouTube channel. Like this man seriously believes he should be the president of the United States of America. I don't like talking politics on this channel because I'm not an expert in it. And for the most part, I only like talking about stuff that I know. But to give Stephen A little bit of grace, the American people were stupid enough to elect Donald Trump to be president again. And you see where we are. He's one of those people that he says he's Democrat, but he's clearly a Republican and has Republican views, but he just knows the Republican Party not going to accept him. And it's just like, yo, I can't, as a person, I can't just ignore some of the political things that you're saying on the internet. Like when I'm looking at people like Louis Riddick or Ryan Clark or Damian Woody, I'm just like, do y'all see these tweets too? Do y'all see his YouTube? Y'all know some of the stuff that he be talking about, and we just pretend like nothing happened? At what point is enough enough? You are one of the greatest sportscasters, one of the greatest TV personalities of all time. Everyone knows who you are. You've made a ton of money. I believe he's probably the highest paid person at ESPN. You have all the fame, all the accolades. You're either going to the Sports Writers Hall of Fame if you're not already in there. You have everything, but you need more. You need to become the president of the United States. Everybody has an ego. Every man has an ego, but Jesus Christ. Stephen A, bro, shut up and dribble. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things in this channel. What are you guys' thoughts on this? Is Stephen A delusional, or is he right? And should he be the next president of the United States of America? Like, are you like me? Do you feel like you're kind of losing interest in Stephen A? Do you think he's doing too much? Do you think his ego has gotten too big? Let me know in the comment section below. Love you guys. As always, remember to tell somebody that you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life.